If you've been on YouTube since around 2010, 2011, you probably recognize this trend, this tag. Back in the day it was called a tag. And this video is a way for me to participate in this tag, even though nobody makes videos like these anymore. Like 50 facts about me, like what is it, 2014? As you know, I haven't been really posting here on YouTube for many reasons, and I haven't been doing it regularly, and I really want to get back to it. Like, I love making videos, I love talking and connecting with you guys. I asked myself, Laura, what would be the most fun for you to create in terms of a video? And it doesn't have to be related to anything specific, it's just gonna be for you, for fun, and maybe someone will enjoy it. And I wanted to make this video, this 50 facts or 55 or however many facts about me video. I wanted to make it for as long as I can remember. I remember even blogging about it. I remember just writing down ideas for the facts that I would share in this video. I know that me making this video right now in 2022 is not gonna be popular, or it won't make me cool at all, but I wanna make it for myself. And now, here I am. So grab a drink, grab a snack, get cozy, and just let's hang out. So I was born, yes, we're starting there. I was born on May 23rd, 1995, which makes me almost 27. I'm recording this video May 13th, 10 days away from being 27, but I'm still making this video when I'm 26. And I was born in Legnica, Poland, in the Lower Silesia, and I grew up in Lubin, Poland. Yeah, the Lower Silesian region has always been a home to me here in Poland. And I'm Polish, and my native language is Polish, and I grew up in a monolingual house, but I started to learn English when I was 3, and I never lived anywhere else outside of Poland when I was growing up, so I was learning English in classes, private classes, on my own, by myself as well. And that's how I learned English. And by the way, if there is anything that is gonna be interesting for you about anything that I mentioned right now, for example, how I learned English, you can go to the description and find the videos that are gonna be interesting. For example, my English learning journey or my therapy journey as well. So after this video, you can go down to the description box and learn more about me if you so wish. So I just said that I never lived outside of Poland, but in 2018 and then in 2020 and 2021, I lived in London for a total of 7 months. But it was not linked to me learning English in an English-speaking country. That's why I separated it. But I lived in London for a few months in 2018 and then in 2020 and in 2021, and I have videos about this as well. So when I was a kid and I started going to school, I was top of my class every single year. Learning was really easy for me. Retaining information, studying, I loved school, I loved everything about just learning new things, and I loved school so much, and I was always top of my class. That is until I stopped caring about some subjects because of the teachers, and in middle school I stopped caring about chemistry. I didn't study for it at all, and then in high school I stopped caring about physics, and I was just a rebellious kid that way because there were so many expectations on me, you know, being the straight A student, and then me getting like 3s or 4s or 2s in the Polish system, so like B's, C's or D's in chemistry and then in physics, and people were like, why are you doing this? You could have easily studied for this test. And I was like, yeah, I know, I didn't care. I've been keeping diaries from the age of 10. I still have them, and I've been journaling my whole life as well. So I have my diaries from my teenage years, and I stopped for like a few years when I was in my early 20s, but I still journal, I still have diaries, and I love going through them. I love the fact that I always wanted to document my life in this way through writing. And I am an extremely sentimental person. I have memory boxes where I have cards and photos. Like, I used to keep everything. Now I don't keep everything, but I still have lots of things, even from my elementary school. But now I also take a lot of pictures and videos, so I don't keep as many material things anymore, but I document many, many, many moments in my life. I spent most of my summers traveling with my family, with my parents and my brother in our family car, and we would go around Europe. And these are my most treasured memories ever. I love just going to places, to new places, discovering different parts of the world with my family. And this really... Ooh, we're getting emotional right now. I can't get through one sentence. But these summers and these trips really shaped me as a human, and I love traveling and going on road trips thanks to that. Like, if I'm ever in a bad mood and someone tells me, hey, let's just go on a road trip, let's just like go somewhere, let's drive without any destination and just go somewhere, I will be the happiest person like that. So yeah. So I was bullied in elementary school and then a little bit in high school as well. And I hated my elementary school. I hated almost every single second of it. I only loved the fact that I was learning new things. Like I said, like I was a straight A student, but I was bullied because of the fact that I was a straight A student, because I was also 1 year younger than everyone else. In the Polish schooling system, you have something that's called klasa, or, class. So basically in your year, there can be, 240 kids divided into 8 classes. And these classes are called, like, if this is year 5, it's gonna be class 5A, class 5B, class 5C, etc. So in my class, I was the youngest kid. I went to the psychology center and they just tested me and they said, hey, she's 6. Normally she would go to school when she's 7, but she's ready to go. And I started school when I was 6 and everyone else was 7, and I was top of my class. And because of that, I was bullied by some of the kids, not all of them, but some of them, because they were like, you don't belong here, you snotty little brat, or you geek, you nerd. And that really hurt because I loved learning and studying, but it didn't stop me. I was just bullied. But then in year 5 or in year 6, I was bullied because puberty hit me even earlier than the girls that were older than me, and my breasts started growing, and I was laughed at. Some boys would hit me in my breasts with their elbows, and it really hurt. And the main mean girl was telling everyone that I was stuffing my bra, which I wasn't. So I was so happy when elementary school was over, but then in high school I was a little bullied as well because of my breasts. There was one girl who was just talking about my jugs or my udders because they were a little bit bigger, and that really hurt as well. So yeah, I was bullied, and because of that, I developed this incredibly huge insecurity about my breasts, not only because of the fact that they were bigger than average, but also they were always drawing male attention, and I hated that. I hated being treated as an object. I had boobs when I was 13, and ever since then, they always drew attention to me as a person, and I could never run away from that. And I'm still learning how to love myself, how to love my breasts. But there was even a point when I was considering a breast reduction surgery because it was so painful for me to have all of this attention on me because of one part of my body. But yeah, that's kind of how I got to this point of having this huge insecurity, but now I am learning how to love myself unconditionally. But it all started when I was bullied. Because of diet culture, I started dieting when I was 13, and I developed a very unhealthy relationship with food. Also, I was emotionally eating because of what was happening in my life at the time. My parents were getting a divorce, so I used food as a coping mechanism. I started exercising a lot, but then it got to the point where I would overeat and then feel, physically, I would have a sugar rush, and I would be just, too full to even lie down and watch a movie. I would be just, tired because I'd eaten so much, but then I would force myself to work out in that state as a kind of a punishment, which I do not recommend doing, but I used to do it, and I'm not proud of it, but I had such a tumultuous relationship with food, exercising, and my body. I fortunately started to unlearn all of these habits and these patterns of behavior. I think I found a healthy balance, but I'm still aware of the fact that sometimes I might get triggered, and that's okay. But I'm learning this self-acceptance and self-love when it comes to my body and my emotions and my relationship with food and exercise and physical activity. But I spent my teenage years and my early 20s absolutely hating the way I looked, only loving my body if it was smaller, only loving my body when I saw some progress, and only allowing myself to feel okay with who I am if I was, sticking to a very strict and rigid diet, and then it was just a mess. So I struggled with that. I am getting better, I am healthier, I am really loving myself and my body unconditionally, and I'm working on maintaining that throughout the rest of my life. Okay, the first music band that I ever listened to, I got into all of their music and I just listened to all of their songs consciously, was ABBA. And it was thanks to the movie Mamma Mia that I watched in 2008. But the first music band that really shaped my music taste and me as a person is Oasis. I still love their music, I still listen to their music, but the biggest band of my life, the love of my life when it comes to bands, is definitely Muse, and I discovered them thanks to a friend, and Starlight is my favorite song ever. And right now, my music taste can be described by 3 moods that I'm in, I would say. And the first one is 80s dad. And that spans from the music from the 60s to 80s, 90s, early 20s, but mainly 80s. The second one is anything indie, from folk to rock to pop. And the third mood is obviously Taylor Swift. Okay, I had my first crush when I was in kindergarten, and this was a boy who was my kindergarten teacher's son. So when I was there, it was nap time and I was pretending to be napping. He would sometimes come to visit his mom, who was 3 years older than me, and I just had a huge crush on him. And yeah, that was my first crush, but my first celebrity crush was Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter. And the funniest thing about it is that Harry Potter, or Daniel in the first 2 Harry Potter movies, looked exactly the same as this boy I had a crush on. And then later on, Dan in Gossip Girl, so Penn Badgley, especially seasons 4 and 5. My favorite subject at school was always English, and I always loved other languages as well, but English was my favorite. And right after my high school finals, I decided to study economics for whatever reason. I made a video about it if you want to learn more, but I hated it, and then I decided to study English. And it was the best decision of my life. And I got a BA, an MA, and a postgrad in English language and literature, and I minored in every single thing that I could minor in. Linguistics, literary studies, translation, business English. I was just, obsessed with everything related to English and the language and the literature and translation. So that's why I love it all. I love it all. And then I got accepted into a PhD program. I also have a video about this. I still haven't started. Maybe I will one day. So according to the Myers-Briggs personality test, I am an ENFJ, which is the protagonist. And when you read this description, this is exactly who I am. However, and I know this is not one size fits all, we are all different, but when I think about it, I think I'm getting more introverted, or maybe I've always been more introverted than extroverted, but the way I approach people is perceived as extroverted, or maybe I'm an extroverted introvert. I think this is the best way to put it. So technically, I am an ENFJ. Also, I am a Gemini sun. I'm a Pisces moon, and I am a Scorpio rising. I love astrology, I love numerology, I love spirituality and different versions of spirituality, and I always have, and it's all thanks to my mom. She would always tell me, you're a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, and your grandpa, so her father, is a Gemini. We're all Gemini. Also, there's a 24-year difference between each of us and a 48-year difference between me and my grandpa. So she always emphasized this to me, and it kind of always shaped my identity in a way. And I even have a tattoo to prove it. I mean, there's a Gemini constellation, this is my Pisces moon, and there's Saturn because Saturn is cool and beautiful. And I am an excellent manifester. I manifest things, I use the law of attraction and manifestation techniques, and I manifest a lot. I mean, I've manifested a lot of things, even without knowing sometimes, which is also a part of manifestation. One of the manifestations that I shared here on my channel was me living in a London apartment with the view of the London Eye and Big Ben, which was on top of my bucket list, and I manifested it. And there are so many more things that I've manifested. I'm always manifesting something, and this is the framework for my life. I believe we all manifest all the time, and we can use the power of our minds and of manifestation principles to co-create our lives the way we want to. And so I do it, and I've been doing it ever since my mom taught me about the law of attraction and shared the secret with me in 2008. So yeah, I've been doing this consciously for many years now, and I've been successful at it as well. And my mom has always been my biggest mentor, my best friend, and she passed away in 2019. And learning to live without her was really painful and stressful and difficult, but I think I'm good now. But I will always miss her. I will always love her, and I know she would be so proud of me, and I'm super grateful for everything she managed to share with me and pass on to me. The past 3 years, starting from 2019 to now, 2022, have been the most difficult and the hardest years of my entire life, and I'm looking forward to feeling better. But starting from my mom's passing, and then the pandemic, and then me moving to London and ending my 8-year relationship, these past 3 years have been the most challenging and the hardest. But these are also the years where I've been in therapy, and I'm still in therapy, and I'm so grateful, so happy about the fact that I am in therapy, because this is the best investment of my entire life. And I don't know how I would have survived these past 3 years without my therapist and without the inner work that I've been doing. But also, I changed the most as well. And this is all thanks to me being ready to do the inner work and doing it, and just taking care of myself in, the most necessary way, which is taking care of my mind and my mental health. I used to be a very jealous and possessive and controlling person when I was a teenager and even in my early 20s, and that all stems from my childhood, and I know that. And I was very jealous of my friends and of my love interests, and I was really possessive. Like, if someone was hanging out with someone else other than me, I would be, throwing a fit, and I would be the worst person. But now I'm not anymore, but I used to be. And sometimes I wish that I could go back and change it, but I can't. So I just live my life not doing these things, not acting in this way anymore. I don't even have the need to be this person, and I just have so much compassion for the Laura that I used to be. But yeah, I was so different. Whenever I meet someone new, or I meet anyone, and they tell me, oh my god, you're such a lovely person, you're so gentle, you're so sweet, you're just so caring and loving and supportive, I'm like, yeah, I know, but I wasn't always like that. And they always are in shock when I tell them what I used to do or how I used to behave, which only proves that people can change. and I'm living proof of that. On the other side of the spectrum, I am loyal to a fault. I am so extremely loyal, it's ridiculous. I always have a very special place in my heart for the people I used to love or care for. Like I said, it can be to a fault. So sometimes I can be loyal to the people who I shouldn't be loyal to, which I am also working on. On the other hand, I'm also very protective of my energy, and I learned this very early on. And if there are people in my life who I don't really resonate with, who bring me down, who don't really contribute anyway, in any positive way, to my life, or who are just, spewing negativity, or their lifestyle is just not something I want to participate in, I am really, like I said, I am really loyal, but I at some point will snap very quietly in my head, and I will cut them off, or I will cut myself off. And I've done it so many times, and that's because I am so aware of the fact that my energy is priceless. This is like the source of who I am, and I have to protect who I am. So if someone brings me down, they are not a positive influence in my life, I will let them go, or I will go. And sometimes we will find our way back to one another. Sometimes like when I change or they change, and that's really fine by me. I am not ashamed. Like, I have no regrets. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I will sometimes indulge in a little bit of weed. Yeah. I love romanticizing my life. I love pretending or just acting as if I'm the main character in a movie, and everything that happens to me is just like a movie, and I love that. I really love that, and it helps me in so many ways. And also, why not? Like, I love just seeing myself as this main character of this coming of age movie, and I see nothing wrong in that. I have a lot of stories from my life that I just feel that they belong in a book or in a movie. I've always wanted to be a writer or a director or an actress, and I think I'm gonna start writing a book or a movie script someday, not even someday soon, like really soon, because there's just a few stories that are like, you have to write them down, because it's something that, as an artist, I feel like I have to release them. I have to tell them these stories. I have to tell them in order to heal from them, to process my emotions. And yeah, I think I'm gonna start writing soon. I'm this type of person that if I get sad and there is a song that really resonates with my mood and it's really, really sad, I will listen to it on repeat 200 times until I'm fully recovered or I find another one. So I listen to songs on repeat. The same for when I'm happy, or just in general, if I really like a song, I obsess over it. I listen to it like a few hundred times. And then at the end of the year, Spotify tells me, here are your best songs of the year, or the ones that you've listened to the most. And I always find that these are the songs that I listened to for a week straight, and then I forget about them, but they were the songs that really helped me go through a specific time in my life, and they are not my favorite songs, they just resonated with me. And then I listened to them over and over and over and over and over again until I stopped listening to them, and there you go. I'm this type of person. I journal daily, I meditate daily, I do breath work, and I connect to my intuition, to my inner voice, to my higher self, and to my purpose. And this is the way I have been operating in this world for the past 5-6 years, and I'm still developing my practice because I love just being deeply connected to myself, to the universe, to other people, to my emotions, to what I want. And yeah, I am always exploring new ways of deepening that spiritual, emotional, physical, mental connection. I am really brave and courageous, and I have no problem getting vulnerable and being honest with people. And like I said, I love following my intuition, listening to my heart. So I've always been this type of person that if I have feelings for someone, I will tell them, regardless of anything. If I have to have a difficult conversation with someone, I will have it. If there is a confrontation, I am not going to avoid it. I'm gonna face it. And I've always been like that. I've always talked openly about what I want and how I feel with people. If I couldn't talk about it, I would write them a letter. And that always feels terrifying, but there is no other way I would ever live my life. I will always speak my truth, talk about how I feel, and not shy away from any emotions or difficult conversations, because life's too short. Like, it is too short to do that. And I'm also doing this with my friends when they want to do something but they don't believe in themselves or they're scared, and I will encourage them to do the brave thing, but I don't always like push people. But if they need my help, I'm there. And the reason for why I'm like that is because I believe that life's too short and we only have one life, and I don't want to spend my life doing the things that I don't want to do, not being honest with myself or with people, and I don't want to wake up one day and realize that I wasted so much of my life pretending that I don't love someone, or just behaving as if things were okay when I really wanted to do something else with my life. I always notice this moment when something doesn't feel good to me and I try to change it or accept it or move on from it. You know, I don't want to be on my deathbed and think about all of the things that I didn't do, or all of the opportunities that I didn't take, or all of the things that I could have said or I wish I'd said, and I just don't want to have any regrets. This is my mantra. Like, I will live my life in a way that there are no regrets. And right now, I can tell you honestly, like honest to God, to the universe, to the higher power, I don't have any regrets. Any whatsoever. I've always done the things that I wanted to do. I've always listened to my heart. I've always done whatever I could. I've given my all whenever I could, and I have no regrets, and I will only continue to live like this. And also, I believe that everything is possible and that I can and will have everything I desire, because why not? I live my life thinking I'm the exception. Like, I'm always the exception. Like, whatever other people don't get, I don't care. I will get it because I'm the exception. I will always get the best opportunities. I will always do the things that I want to. I will always get the best treatment or like the rarest things because I'm the exception. And why the hell not? So I will always achieve everything I want to, and I will always live the way I want to live my life. And this is my mantra, and I love living like this. And I have big dreams, and I know I will achieve them. So I want to be a writer, like I said. I want to be an actress, a director, a screenwriter. I want to get an Oscar. I want to have this big life. I want to be a millionaire. I want to help people and show people that you can truly have anything you want. And I want to inspire them to believe that they can do anything, that they can believe in themselves, and that they can have this amazing life that they dream of. And I know I will do it. I know. I just know that. So I love movies, and there is no way for me to tell you which one is my favorite, but two films or two movies that really shaped who I am and had the biggest impact on me. I will tell you about one drama and one documentary. So the one that really shaped me was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and a documentary that changed my life was Won't You Be My Neighbor? And when it comes to books, again, like I couldn't possibly tell you like my favorite book, but when I think about it, there are two books that I go back to the most often, and I think this is the best criterion for me to tell you which book is really the most impactful in my life. So when it comes to fiction, that would be South of the Border, West of the Sun by Haruki Murakami. And for nonfiction, that would be You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I'm coming up on my first year of being single, and like I said before, it's one of the most difficult years of my life. Also the first time that I'm single, because I had an 8-year relationship which started when I was 17. So now I'm almost 27 and I'm learning so many things about myself, and I love that. However, it hasn't been easy, and it's still not easy sometimes. I'm definitely not looking for anything right now other than, you know, deepening my connection to myself and loving myself more and more and more. We're almost at the end, so let me share a few more things before we finish. So in 2013, I started a YouTube channel in Polish, and I didn't like it and I deleted it. There are videos on it, but they are private. Maybe one day we will have a video where I watch them and we talk about them. But no, not right now. But I started vlogging in 2013. I started blogging in 2005, and I always had a blog, one or another. I always wrote and took photos and made videos, so I'm really happy that I have this channel right now, because this is everything I've ever wanted. And I remember in 2013 I really wanted to participate in this tag as well, but I didn't, and now I do, and I'm so happy. And yeah, I started this channel because I really wanted to help people through my content, and I really wanted a career in media and in social media. So here we are, started in 2019, and I've had this channel for almost 3 years. I was mentoring and teaching English and Polish and math at some point for years, but then in 2020 I started my business. I have this channel, which is my business as well, but also I have online courses for people who want to learn any language, and also 2 English courses for learners of English. And yeah, I am a businesswoman and I love business. Like I love entrepreneurship. I feel so good at it and I love doing it. I went 99% plant-based in 2016 and I went vegan in 2017, and I have a video about it if you want to learn more about my whole journey. And I am also an animal rights activist. I absolutely hate, despise coriander or cilantro, celery, radish, any spicy food, spicy anything. I hate it. I can't eat it. No, and raw garlic. No. I used to dance. I was in a dance group when I was a child and then a teenager. I first started with ballroom dancing, but then I was in a hip-hop group and I just want to go back to dancing so badly. And I used to sing as well, but I never got much professional training, but I would love to, because I love singing too. I've always had a good memory, a very good memory, an excellent memory, and it's incredible. And I always thought of going to a TV game for the people who want to test themselves in like a general knowledge quiz or something. And I always wondered how far I would go or how much I'd win. But so yeah, maybe maybe one day this will happen too. I have a cat. His name is Max, and I've had him since I was 10. And I manifested him in a way. And he is almost 17, and we've been together ever since, and he's happy, he's healthy, I'm happy and healthy, and we are just the best friends forever. And I believe this is the final fact, or the bonus fact, in fact, and that is that my favorite season is fall. However, my favorite time of year, if you could transport yourself to any part of the year, like any moment in the year, I would always choose a summer night outdoors, somewhere outside with friends, just hanging out, talking, having a bonfire, looking at the stars, and just, having the best time together. Now I've shared so much, I feel like we can just connect even more. So share something in the comments that will help us bond as well. I love this community that we have here on my channel. I truly believe, and I know that we have the best people here watching my videos, commenting under my videos. So if you want to connect, you can do so by sharing something in the comments. I've shared 56 facts about me, and you can share one as well. And I am just so tired. I had no idea this would be so tiring, but I loved making this video. I truly wanted to make it, and my younger self is just so happy that I did it finally after so many years. So I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to click the like button, and if you want to, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can also follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my daily life. It was so fun. I'll see you in one of my next videos very, very, very soon, or in my podcast. I will talk to you in my podcast or in my Instagram. Wherever you want to find me, there I am. Thank you so much. Bye guys.